Jersey's here. Hey, 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 hey.
Yes, y'all, it's the one and only. What up? And I came to have fun, get homie. What up? And I came with a ton of money.
Church clap.
Don't get it twisted, your gun is on me now. This chick's with a man fucking on me.
What in the world? What is you doing? Is that a new move? The breathe and stop? Breathe and stop? What's
For
going
real,
on?
give it what you got.
I mean,
I don't know because like I went to a loved one's house last night just to visit, and ever since I left there, something just hasn't been right. It's so weird.
something hasn't been right with what? You?
Listen,
or?
with me, because I couldn't even sleep last night. I just feel really like drained. I don't know, like
Yeah,
I don't.
because you don't have all the. I'm not getting my Lewis. I'm not getting my.
I don't know what happened.
You went to the. So when you went to the party, you was good.
It wasn't a party. It was just like a few of us over there, just visiting.
Okay, and the vibe there was good. Everybody was.
I thought so. And
when you left, baby, that sounds like a case of the cooker bugs, baby.
A what?
The cooker bugs. You done caught a spirit, baby.
Oh. You mad? What's up, y'all?
What's going on, y'all? I'm Tina.
I'm Louis.
Welcome to mAd, the vlog. Today we are on episode 4, baby, and we're going to be talking about spirit transfer. Before we get into that, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Hit this little bell down here, or here, wherever it is. The little bell. You know what the bell is, sucker. Hit that bell so you can get notifications of when we upload our new videos.
Yes.
Just in case you're not on social media and you don't get our alerts on there, you'll get your alert via YouTube.
Yep.
So sit back, relax, grab your drinks.
Because this strawberry Sprite, beloved, that's a plug. Go to Wendy's and make sure, because they got them machines now where they can add the flavor. So get you a Sprite, ask them to add that strawberry flavor.
Get your entire life to that, okay? Your entire life. Stay tuned because we're about to talk about why you feeling the way you've been feeling.
Boom.
So, beloved ones, sugar lambs, precious dears, have you ever been in a situation where 1 minute you up here and the next minute you down here? It's like you go from 0 to 60 in a matter of minutes, whatever, hours, seconds, whatever. Spirit transfer. You have come in contact with a spirit. And it could be a happy spirit, a sad spirit, a depressed spirit, a vengeful spirit.
Oh.
A backbiting spirit. Because you could be a person that's not even like that. But if you surround yourself with people who are infected with that spirit, baby, that thing will latch on. So today we're going to be talking about these good old spirit transfers.
So in religion, they call it spirits. In science, they call it energy. In the streets, they call it vibes. Whatever it is, baby, trust it because it's real and it don't lie. So even if you feel something is off, check that out because it's real. There's a flag going off on the inside of you. Like you go out on a date with somebody for the first time and you sitting across from them and they're talking and something ain't feeling right inside of you. Trust that. Or you out with somebody that you do know and they right up in your face talking to you and you get these vibes. You be like, what's going on? Like, what is that? Check that out because it's the Lord trying to tell you something, baby.
So in the last video, we were talking about generational curses. So it's kind of like the curses and spirits kind of go hand in hand, but curses are more so deep rooted and therefore a little bit harder to break. Whereas there are certain spirits that you can cast out. You mean that? I mean, it is what it is. They have to be cast out. I'm sorry. There's no, I mean, think Exorcist, think that stuff was real. Y'all think it was just a movie? No, that was real. The movie might have been fake, but those instances, spirits need to be cast out of your body. True story. So you had your curses, more deep rooted, more deep, just deep. But then you have your spirits that can just attach onto you just like that. And it don't have to be a family member. You can walk past somebody in the street and get what they got. And they don't have to touch you. Just in passing, that thing will leap on you.
And so how many of y'all have seen the movie Fallen with Denzel Washington? That was one of the most prevalent examples ever about spirit transfers. Like, they called the spirit, it was basically about one spirit in that movie, and it was called Azazel. Azazel was a biblical name, but it was also used as a scapegoat. In the Bible days, in the Old Testament days, when someone did something wrong, that spirit would transfer itself into a goat, I believe it was.
It was a goat.
And they called it Azazel. So it would transfer in and it would drive it out. And it was their way of being forgiven of whatever it was they did. So it was a scapegoat spirit.
Energy is so contagious. It's positive and negative alike. Be mindful of what and who you allow to your space. So, beloveds, you can even catch a vibe from your bestie.
Oh.
Like, even if the person is your bestie and you think highly of them, you still can catch their spirit. I mean, the strawberry Sprite spirit. No, but if you have your friend, say y'all on the phone, y'all out, whatever. Your friend is depressed, your friend is sad about something, you can catch that.
Yes, ma'am.
Because that I have experienced that.
Yes.
Not with you though, beloved. But I have experienced that just being around people that I was cool with. And then it's like, you find yourself doing things that you wouldn't normally do. Saying things that you wouldn't normally say.
That's the key.
Baby.
That's the key, because you can be someone that don't even smoke. But if you hang around somebody that's constantly smoking in front of you, it could be weeks, months, or years.
Yes.
The transference is going to be like, at first when they start smoking, it'll bother you. You'll cough or whatever. Next thing you know, you'll want to try a puff.
You're immune to it at this point. So
you see what I'm saying?
Regular.
It's everything that happens is a gradual happening. And it's never a like boom type situation. If you hang around people who drink, if you hang around people who cuss, guess what?
Yes.
You're going to be talking and one just slip out.
I mean,
it's all about the energy that you surround yourself with. That's why it is so imperative that you choose correctly who is in your life. I can't stress that enough, y'all. And when I say this, we both have learned the hard way. Okay? And ain't nobody safe. In church, out of church, whatever.
Nowhere.
Vibes, energies, spirits, it don't lie. Whatever that check is that you feel on the inside of you, you got to search that thing out.
Listen.
I promise you, it's a way that God has that he deals with us with. Like, we could be talking to somebody and they can be lying to us. And you be looking right at them like, they're lying. And everything on their face doesn't say that they're lying.
Right.
But the spirit of the thing.
Because you got to try the spirit.
Come
on here. Because spirits are contagious.
Y'all saw that movie Fallen?
They like the flu, baby.
You saw how they was walking in the street and that spirit, which was Azazel, was going through each and every one as they were brushing each other. It wasn't even a full touch.
Right.
It was like a light brush, and that spirit was going swoop, swoop, swoop. It's the same thing. Do you not know in the spirit realm above our heads in the atmosphere, there are spirits roaming around in the sky?
Oh my God.
Just looking for an opening. And you know how they get their openings? Through hurt. Any type of deep hurt, any type of sexual interaction. That's how they transfer.
Oh,
that's how you become one flesh. That's how you get your soul ties. Spirits are hovering. They are innumerable. And they are hovering, looking for someone to enter into and make their home there. This is how people who are promiscuous.
Son, I was going to say, you make me sick. Go ahead. You make me so sick.
People who are promiscuous, male and female, you are so full of lust that you have to keep having different sexual partners. Do you not know, beloveds, that every time you have sex with someone that is not your husband and not your wife, and I'm not even going to say husband or wife. Every time you have sex with someone, unprotected sex, you marry that person. So when you are sleeping around with different people, you're marrying them.
Right.
So that's why you got women going around here crazy because they're married to 30 different other men.
Right.
And you're not satisfied. If you do get into a relationship, you're not satisfied because he don't do what John did.
Right. Jeff's spirit ain't like Mike's spirit.
Well, Tyreek don't slap me up and down like I need to be slapped up and down.
I mean, and Billy ain't pulled my hair, so I mean, it's you bouncing from person to person. So all these spirits, just imagine like all these spirits
in your body.
Just imagine a bowl of Cheerios.
Mm-hmm.
All these, you know what I mean? You are the milk, and the Cheerios are the spirits.
Mm-hmm.
I mean.
No, for real. And it's all bound up on the inside of you, and you wondering why that none of your relationships are successful.
Yes,
because you never got free from all the other men or all the other women you've been with.
And you're contaminating people too. Not only are you contaminated, you're spreading it as well.
And so thus the cycle continues.
Oh my gosh, until it is broken. Jesus.
See?
This is powerful.
See?
When you think about that.
When you really think about it.
That's crazy.
It is so imperative, y'all. And I know everybody's not Christian minded or whatever, but we come to make awareness, to help you to realize that's all we can do. This is why we are the way we are.
Yep.
All we can do is bring you to the light, baby. It's your choice to walk on in it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? That's all we can do. Step into the light,
Listen.
All we can do is just shed the light on it.
And
it's your choice to walk in it.
That's why the world's so jacked up. Because all these spirits intermingling and everything is just so like a yarn ball. It's crazy. It's crazy.
And what the key thing is, hurt, rejection, abandonment. Those spirits, woo, it's so broad. Like once that soul, I talked about the soul breaches, remember? How you got a crack in your soul?
That one broken female.
That
one broken female is carrying
50 different men in her body.
Oh my gosh.
Because she was hurt.
Ow! Brother, get out my
Do you not know that a lot of this stuff, transference, comes from molestation and rape? You can have, I've heard of females who have been raped by women, and by the time they hit puberty, they want women. Vice versa. Iyanla just had a powerful show on last Saturday. Powerful, about 7 siblings, all male.
Dang.
Who had, the mother was a drug addict, and I think the father was on drugs too, but the mother left the kids with him, and he couldn't handle them all by himself, and so they was just left to the system. One of them, when I first saw the show, I noticed that 2 of them were openly gay, and the others were super hood. And immediately, because of my own life struggle, I can see stuff that most people can't see. So I'm like, okay, so what happened to them 2 that didn't happen to the others? And so as the show went on, the oldest one of the 2 that I'm talking about said when they were in the home, they at one point it was several other brothers together, because you know how they'll separate you.
That's what I was going to ask you, were they separated, were they
together?
So
in one instance, it was like 3 or 4 of them all grouped up together in one home. And so when they left, they ran away. But as far as when they were there, the 2 younger ones that I'm referring to, they were protected.
Okay.
Nobody messed with them because the brothers were super hood. So when they ran away and left them 2 there, because the older brothers ran away because they was like, okay, they treat the 2 like they're gold, so they ain't gonna do nothing to them. But we out of here.
Right.
So they're safe. Well, the moment they went away,
Vulnerable.
one of them got attacked. And it wasn't like a vicious attack like you would think. It was something that gradually they were worming their way into the person's into the boy's life, buying him stuff,
See that?
treating him like gold and everything. And then one night he got in his bed and just took what he wanted.
Garage, like you said.
I'm telling you,
It's
telling you,
gradual.
the victim will become the predator if he doesn't get it healed. A lot of this stuff happens with molestation. Molestation is you being touched and groped. You know, and rape is the actual sexual act. That stuff will transfer, y'all.
Yes.
How many of y'all been raped and molested that's watching this video?
How many?
And you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yep.
There's a female, I'm not going to name her name, in one of the biggest groups, the biggest R&B groups of the 90s. She was raped by a babysitter. So when she grew up, she started dating females. Transference. And this is why I get upset as someone who has been who I am forever. This is why I get upset when people misjudge homosexuals. Like there's some type of disease. You know, you don't understand why.
You feel a certain, yeah.
But because, and this is the church, this is the thing I have with church people. You feel like you're doing God a justice by hating them and judging them. God died for everybody. He even died for your worst enemy.
Now that will preach.
So you coming to him talking about, oh, I don't want that around me, and I don't want... Who do you think you are? When Jesus walked this earth, guess who he hung around? The prostitutes. The people that played the lottery and all that stuff. The people that the church would shun is who Jesus was hanging around. And y'all still don't catch that, but
It's because it's a outward proclivity. So, and you know, and it's seen as so flamboyant and this, that, and third. But what about you, preacher man, sir, who have 7 girlfriends on the side, and you got a wife, you an adulterer, you a cheater, you got a 17-year-old and you 50 years old. Like, same
and it's
difference.
real. And it's real.
Same difference. Stop casting judgment on the people.
This girl watched people hate on me. Watched it. She's seen it with her own eyes. How people who befriended me at first, and I guess my outward isms wasn't pleasing to them.
It was too much.
So they start shunning me. She saw it with her own eyes. This is my living witness right here. She watched how people turn their nose up at me that used to talk to me.
I mean,
but at the same time, they had the same struggle. But being around me, because I don't care what you say. I'm who I am. I love the Lord. You can judge me. You can say whatever you want to say about me. That's the type of person I am. But if you're around people who don't have that type of freedom because they're afraid of what other people think of them, or they're afraid of being rejected,
that's because they have not grasped the reality of who they really are. They still trying to hide it.
So if I come around
a person who has grasped it, who has recognized it,
okay,
not so much accepted it, but recognized it, working on it, etc., etc., etc.,
and ... You can't handle people who live in their truth.
Nope. And there. Thank you. That's what I'm
So
trying
you
to
shun
say.
them. People fear what they do not understand.
Oh.
So you feel like you're doing God a justice by being nasty and rude to homosexuals or whatever. That's just like the KKK. Don't you know that the KKK think they're doing God a justice by getting rid of colored people? But every time one of them die, they're going to bust hell wide open. Why? Because of the hatred in them. And the bitterness. So, do you not know that a lot of God's people, let me say that again in quotes, a lot of God's people are going to end up in hell because of their attitude? Oh.
Today's
Fashion Unclog is winter coats.
Yes.
You know, we're in the season where it's wintry, like you would not believe.
Can't.
Old man winter is like punching us in the face, so we gotta go ahead and combat with a good old coat, right?
Right. So your girl is a summer baby,
Me
okay?
too.
Summer, sun and heat and fun, that's me. So if I got to deal with the winter, I'm going to look fashionable while I'm doing it. I prefer a longer coat, okay? And it has to have some type of accoutrement, embellishment, okay? And it has to just be all the things.
So my choice, beloved, is a gray wool winter coat. Nice quarter length, not too long, but just right. And I'm going to give it a brooch accoutrement.
Come on! Beloved, another way that you can catch a spirit, believe it or not, music, MTV, whatever you are exposed to, whatever your mind's eye is exposed to, you can be influenced and you can catch a spirit. I am a huge music lover, okay? I love a good tune because music is prophetic. And it can inspire, it can encourage, and it can also make you do some crazy stuff.
Teach, Dr. Watson.
I mean, for instance, I love R&B, okay? Especially that 80s, 90s joint. What you talking about? Hello? Oh, I love it. But if I'm not alone, the only person I want to listen to it with is my husband, because it puts you in a zone for that type of thing. Now, when I'm on my own sometimes, hip-hop is where it's at. What?
Hip-hop,
Biggie,
hip-hop,
Nas,
hip-hop.
all that. That's where I'm at. If I'm in my car rolling, because it's hype. It give you, you get that hypeness, you get that upness, that alertness. People can, but I don't think like at 4 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, you're trying to go to sleep, you're going to throw on, pump some up to get beat down. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, you mad? Are you mad? It's the spirit of the songs. They can.
Did you just Beastie Boys the people?
Was you ready? Lewis is never ready. Ready. And if you stay ready,
Because punks do jump up.
To what? If you stay ready, you ain't gotta get ready.
Ha!
You mad? So it's good to have an awareness of what you're listening to, what's going into your ear gates, as the church folks like to say.
You really went church.
It's really, really, really good to be aware of what you're listening to, what you're watching, because it influences you, and them spirits will take over. You could be watching Scarface, and all of a sudden talking about let me say hello to my little friend. Like,
I'm screaming.
I'm just saying,
no, because for real, I've read stories about how there have been, especially with that heavy metal and that rock.
Oh, yes, all that grunge.
They talk about suicide, and I've heard about children who have killed themselves after listening to that type of music.
Because you think about it. What it sound like?
Demons. I said it.
What in the world?
It sound like pig Latin.
It really.
And when demons chatter, if you're spiritual and you hear it,
son,
it sounds like pig Latin.
Can I tell y'all about an experience I had?
Come on and tell them.
When I lived at a place last year, I call it Hell House, because that's exactly what it was. Hell House.
Why are you talking about this situation?
Because the people need to know, because people be going through stuff, man. I lived at this place. The people below me were drug addicts. Okay? Drug addicts. They would be downstairs moaning and groaning and carrying on, not having sex, high off of drugs. So you would hear like 2-3 o'clock in the morning.
Every day I had to hear about it.
Let me tell y'all about an experience.
Every day?
Let me tell y'all about another experience I had in church.
Come on here. Come on.
This blew my entire
Enlighten the people.
Mind. I will never, ever forget it. I was in church, a church service, okay? It was a high praise, okay? And everybody's up, jumping around, shouting, cartwheels, somersaults, so on and so forth. As I was sitting there, because I wasn't
feeling it.
It's a vibe. Okay. So even though it was a praise going on, all I heard, what, do y'all remember the scene in Will Smith movie? What's the movie? When he was stuck on New York by himself.
iRobot?
No. He was stuck by himself. It was just him
Legend.
and the dog. I Am Legend.
Yes.
Do y'all remember the scene, if you've seen it, when he goes into the old abandoned warehouse, I think, to get his dog or to see if somebody was in there, and all them I call them demons because that's what they look like. They were spirits. They were huddled and they was like, That's what I heard in that church service. While those people were going forth and offering up praises to God.
Now break that down, because they'll think that that's them, the demons being bothered by what's going on. Tell them what it really was.
Those were the demons.
Boom.
Those were the demons. It wasn't the demons
that
being
were
bothered.
shouting.
Those were the demons that were
and speaking
shouting
in tongues.
and speaking in tongues
and sweating their outfits out
and offering up praises to
and when
God.
they got done, they were still nasty and evil and mean and talked about each other like a dog.
It was back to
normal.
It was all tingling. What is it? Tingling, brass, sounding cymbals.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it was. But that thing was so. I was so like, oh my gosh, because it was like, like moaning and groaning, and it was just
chanting.
Like, thank you. That's exactly what it was. Yo, spirits is real. Be aware of your surroundings, son. Be around of your surroundings. If you feeling a type of way, don't ignore it, because it is something. Your pants ain't just too tight.
Even if you feel a type of way and you project it to people that you're around, they will take on that mentality if they're not guarded and careful. Mm-hmm. If you're angry, they're going to become angry because they have to sit and listen to your anger.
Yes.
Whatever the emotion, the strong emotion is, that circle will feel it. I know we don't like to say circle, but it's just real. The people that's around you are going to feel it the most if they're not guarded. You have to keep, the Bible said, keep your heart guarded. You got to protect it at all costs. Because that's where the transference happens.
It's contagious. It's so contagious. What's that in the movie?
That's like people that get heart transplants. What is it called? Heart transplant?
Oh.
So you take on a new heart.
And I've heard of that.
And you got a whole new personality.
I've heard of that.
Because you have someone else's heart implanted on the inside of you, and you become a whole nother person. Still look the same, but your total personality, that your whole makeup of who you are, gone.
Wow.
Because now you've taken on somebody else's heart.
And that's deep.
Get it?
Get it? You mad?
So here's one of the problems that I found. Speaking of a heart transplant, that's the problem with a lot of people in the church. Sorry to bring up church, but it's just real, and this is who I am.
This experience.
My experience. And what I found is a lot of people miss the first commandment that Jesus gives people when they become saved. Learn of me. If you learn of him, aka taking his heart, getting his heart, you'll know how to love a homosexual.
Because if
you'll know how to love somebody who killed someone in your family.
Oh my.
Oh yeah, I went deep with that one. Because see, when you're dealing with Jesus, you gotta love people that's impossible to love. That's the heart. When you take on his heart, it's not you doing it anymore. It's him doing it through you. So a lot of church people, they shout and they go to gospel concerts and they wear flower lapel pins. But they sit in church and text other people talking about you because you up dancing. They videotape your shout. They do all this church stuff, but nobody knows God for real.
And don't nobody know what you're going through.
They don't have discernment. Because it takes time in the spirit to gain those type of gifts, where you can look at a person and tell what they're going through. There are some people that are born with that gift, but it's the Holy Spirit that operates it. So if you ain't spending time with him, how that gift gonna work? Oh. So the problem is we don't take on Jesus's heart. We don't get that spiritual heart transplant to be able to deal with people who aren't like us. But you need that heart to be able to deal with people who aren't like you, because Jesus died for those people that aren't like you. And if you can't stand to be around them, you're judging them.
Right.
And if you're judging them, you're in direct rebellion of the word of God.
I mean.
So for those of you church people that are watching this, please hear what I'm saying. Don't look at my hair and my outfit and miss God. Hear what I'm saying.
Just focus on you, because if you get
Okay.
yourself together, this won't even bother you.
It shouldn't even bother you because it ain't got nothing to do with you.
You'll be drawn to this. Come on, people. The focus is on the wrong
And that's the
things,
problem.
and the time is drawing nigh.
You remember them things? Remember the Wizard of Oz when the witch turned over that glass sand time thing?
The timer.
So if you were really born in church, born and raised in church, there was a painting back in the day
Screaming.
that used to have the clouds and that time
Yes.
thing suspended
That was
up in the air.
Scariest thing
And
ever.
it was saying, time is running out. That's where the church babies. Shout out to the church babies. Y'all remember that painting? And the clouds looked all scary and stuff. And the thing said, time is running out.
Listen.
No, it really is.
Seriously.
The sand is getting ready to really fill up on that bottom part. Like in real life.
In real life.
So that's why I'm saying we got to
We got to get our focus on the right things.
and get rid of what doesn't belong there, because it's going to stagnate what you're trying to do or accomplish. Being in relationships with people who have bad spirit energy
Will contaminate your entire life. Contaminate, stagnate, and eventually
I need y'all to hear
annihilate.
every segment of this show. I need y'all to hear what we're saying.
It's serious.
And don't take it as us being all over the place. No, hear what we're saying, because it all ties into what is at hand. And the thing that is at hand is that there's bad energy. When there is bad energy, you got to be able to detect it and get rid of it.
Or else it'll fester. It'll root in. It'll fester. It'll contaminate everything you touch, everything you're surrounded
Tag your it,
by.
baby.
Tag your
And
it.
it's just that simple.
It's that simple. You
The
mad?
Bible said, here I go, be not unequally what?
Yoked. Not egg yolk. Yolk.
Unequally yoked.
Yes.
Relationships.
All relationships. Can you be unequally yoked to the church?
Most definitely. It's not. People think that stuff is about marriage.
It's not.
I mean, it's a piece of it, yeah, but it's not the full spectrum.
Your
Give me my points for
friendships-
spectrum.
I mean, next week. Your friendships.
It is not the full spectrum of that scripture.
Not.
You can be in church and married to the wrong person. Oh. You can be in the wrong church, unequally yoked to the wrong leader.
So if you are a person who's never had a drink in life and you start hanging around people who drink, whether casually, occasionally, or whatever, and you all of a sudden get a hankering, baby.
Tag your it.
If you are a husband or a wife and you and your spouse have a normal sex life and all of a sudden the other spouse develops an aggressive appetite for sex,
Tag your it. So if you're a person who's around a lot of people who cuss or curse, if you will, and you find yourself slipping out a few bombs.
tag, you're it.
So if you're a person who's heavily influenced by musical lyrics to the point that you'll do something crazy just by listening to a song, guess what?
Tag, you're it. Woo, guys, thank you so
Thank you, guys.
much for tuning in to episode 4. Can you believe it? We love y'all so much for being faithful to viewing our videos. Our faithful subscribers, much
Thank y'all so much.
love to you guys.
Yes.
Everybody who shares our videos on your pages.
All your comments.
Oh my gosh,
Yes.
we appreciate it so very much. It's very encouraging. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Continue to share us on your social media outlets. Hit the notification button down there, the bell, so that you can get notified when we upload new videos. We hope that you enjoyed this episode 4. We had so much fun making it. It was a serious topic,
Yes.
and we hope that we were able to encourage you and enlighten you a little bit
Yes.
on this spirit world.
I'm telling you.
So until next time, be aware of your surroundings. Be aware what you listen to. Be aware of what you say.
Wow.
If you feel something on your shoulders and it's feeling crazy, just know that tag
You're it.
You
You
mad?
mad?